Hi everyone, Sarah here. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great day today. We're going to be talking about unworthiness today. Feeling unworthy, feeling worthless. So unworthiness, worthlessness usually stems from either an abusive relationship where maybe you were married to somebody or had a partner that made you feel less than, or it comes from your childhood. So maybe you had parents who were perfectionists and you didn't live up to their high standards. It may be that your parents felt unworthy and you just copied their behavior. It may have been that they neglected you or abandoned you in some way, or they didn't love you as much as a sibling, and this left you with the feeling and the beliefs that you weren't enough, that you weren't lovable as you are, that you weren't enough as you are. So it could also be that you have your own high expectations of yourself, and if you don't meet those expectations, then you end up feeling unworthy too. But whatever it stems from, usually you have these beliefs that say that you have the belief that you're not enough, you have a belief that you're not lovable as you are, and you have a belief that you're not worthy or deserving of love, joy, ease, peace, fulfillment, abundance, a great relationship, etc. And it is actually your birthright to have a life of love and joy and ease and peace and abundance and fulfillment and a great relationship. In fact, it's your birthright to have the life you desire. But if you have a belief that you're not worthy of it, then that's what you're going to create. You will create a life where you don't have everything that you desire because you don't feel that you are worthy of it, and you will be unconsciously creating a life that is less than. So a symptom of not feeling worthy, it may be that you don't know you have this belief, but a symptom of it is that you have a life of struggle, is that you're not having the life you desire. There are lots of other symptoms too. A strong inner critic. So that's the small talk that you hear going on in your head. Lots of self-sabotage, feeling inferior to other people, feeling insecure, feelings of depression, feelings of unworthiness or worthlessness, helplessness, hopelessness. You may have low self-esteem. You may have a lack of confidence, suicidal thoughts. Sometimes you can feel like you have a heavy ache in your body, and that's the belief that you're not worthy. You might have a lack of interest in self-care. You might be oversensitive to criticism. You might be a doormat. But occasionally somebody can go the other way, and to cover up these feelings of unworthiness, they might actually appear to be overconfident. They might appear to be a perfectionist. They might always be blaming others. So to change, to know that you're worthy, first of all, you need to overwrite your belief system, and then you need to clear the stuck emotional energy away, the stuck emotional energy of unworthiness and worthlessness. We get stuck emotional energy in our body. When we feel an emotion strongly, or we feel it over and over again, it actually becomes stuck in our energy field and in our body, and then it impacts how we react to situations, how we respond. So it's a question of overwriting your beliefs and clearing the stuck emotional energy. The trouble is that you don't know what your beliefs are. You may know some of them, but you may not know all of them. In fact, it's very likely that you don't know all of them. So first step is trying to find out what your belief system is. So one way is to sit quietly, pen and paper in your hand, and look back at your history. Have you had a relationship with somebody who was abusive? How did your parents treat you? Can you remember what your parents said to you? Those kinds of things. Look at your history and see if you can work out what your beliefs are. Secondly, for a couple of weeks, walk around with a notebook in your pocket and use your awareness. Be very mindful. Be mindful of your small talk, what you're telling yourself. Be mindful of thoughts that you have, mental images in your head. Be mindful of how you're feeling, and instead of just letting these thoughts come randomly, instead of letting these feelings come randomly, stop and then look and ask yourself, what's triggered this? What belief can I have that's triggered this behavior, that's triggered this thought, that's triggered this feeling? A belief is a thought you have over and over again, so be really aware of what you're thinking. If you're thinking thoughts which are going to make you feel unworthy, then stop and change them. If you've had a thought that's not as good as you'd like, you can simply say, dear God, please cancel that thought and stop that pathway, thank you. A pathway is a neural pathway. When we have a thought and a feeling after it, it creates what's called a neural pathway in your brain. So we are stopping, by asking God to stop it, you are actually stopping that pathway being formed. If you have the same with a mental image, you can either imagine yourself getting a giant rubber and rubbing it out, or again, you can ask God to cancel it. So be aware of what you're thinking and seeing in your head and change them to something positive. When you get your feelings, if you have a feeling that you're not worthy of something, or this feeling of helplessness or hopelessness, that's the best time to clear the stuck emotional energy from your body. So once you've used your awareness, what could have triggered it, to work out your belief system, then you can simply say, this feeling of unworthiness, for example, I feel it, I honor it, and I let it go with love. It's not me and it's not mine. Angels, please take it away. And then the angels are going to help you start clearing this stuck emotional energy from your body. The thing is, they can't do all your work for you, and they're not going to take something away from you that you need to learn from. So it is important at the beginning, at least, to be working out your belief system with it, to use it to your advantage. So don't judge an emotion, because an emotion, it can actually be really helpful. So there are other ways that you can overwrite your belief system. One way, as I said, is to have positive thoughts, but you can also overwrite your belief system by saying something positive, by reading it over and over again, by singing it, by writing it over and over again. The more often that you see it and say it and read it, etc., the quicker you're going to overwrite your belief with. One other way you can do it is to record it on your phone and just have it set on an app that, I couldn't think of the word then, have it on an app that you can replay over and over again and have it playing at night. So when you record it, just make sure you record it with a soft monotone voice. You don't want sudden breaks or lifts in your voice, because that will disturb you in the night. And then all you do is have it playing very, very gently. You don't actually need to be able to hear the words, because your brain will actually take the vibrations of the word and of the words that you're saying and convert them into sentences in your mind. So it needn't disturb you. Another thing you can do is to set them up as screen reminders on your computer, or you can have them pop up as reminders on your phone. Screensavers, or have them pop up as reminders on your phone. Maybe once an hour you can have something pop up on your phone. I am worthy. If you feel yourself feeling unworthy, you can change it simply by saying, I feel worthy. But if you feel it and you're not convinced, then your mind's just going to discount it. So instead, change it. So instead of just saying, I feel worthy, you could say, well, that's odd, because I know I'm worthy. Do it like that, in a way that your mind's going to say, oh, okay. Rather than if you just repeat, I'm worthy, then your mind's going to go, oh, yeah, okay. Another thing you need to do is to look at your inner child. So your inner child is the part of you that feels vulnerable and afraid. In my opinion, your inner child is the voice of your body and part of your ego called your id, which is responsible for your safety. So your inner child has its own awareness. Your body actually has its own awareness and consciousness. So your inner child has its own awareness and consciousness. And whatever your inner child believes, it's going to be whispering these things to you. And you're not consciously aware of it, but you are actually going to be hearing them and reacting and responding to your inner child. So if your inner child is constantly saying something like, I don't feel worthy, that's exactly how you're going to feel. So if you know of an age that your inner child was abused, for example, an age that you were abused as a child, you would pick that age. Otherwise, choose yourself aged about 7 and imagine them sitting on your lap, and you are going to be talking to them and reassuring them. You're going to be telling them that they are lovable, that you love them. They are enough just as they are. They are divinely perfect just as they are. You're going to be hugging them and stroking their hair. Imagine that they are a child that's really upset. So what would you say to reassure a child that's really upset? Tell your inner child that you love being their parent, you love looking after them, and they are just wonderful as they are. And the more you can do this, the more that kind of sentences are going to be coming back at you. And when these positive sentences start coming back to you, instead of subconsciously hearing words like you are unworthy, you're going to be hearing words that you're wonderful as you are. It's going to have a huge impact on how you feel about yourself and how you feel about the world around you. Another thing you really need to be aware of is that you are God in human form. Okay, you are the divine. You are consciousness, basically, in a body. You are divine consciousness in this body. So how could you possibly be unworthy? You can't. You are God in human form. So you must be worthy. And you are actually as perfect as the day you were when you actually joined that body, when it was born. Or what the child does when it's in the womb is that the soul comes in and out, and then before it finally joins with the child permanently before it's born. So you are as divinely perfect as you are when you came into this body. You are worthy. It is just purely your judgments and the conclusions you came to. And most of these judgments and conclusions you came to before the age of 7, when you didn't have the life experience to understand. So please know that you are worthy. And when you know you are God in human form, and this is something you can keep telling yourself over and over again, then you really can understand how you can only be worthy. Anything that you have ever gone through is just purely an experience for your learning and growth. Another thing that you can do is make a list of all the things that you are good at. Make a list of all the wonderful things that you've done to help others in your life or to help animals, etc. Make a list of anything wonderful that you've done, even if it wasn't helping somebody, and give yourself a pat on the back, okay? Give yourself as much self-praise as you can. Give yourself lots and lots of self-praise, because again, this is going to help you feel worthy. But it is important to know that your worth is not determined by the good deeds you have done. Your worth is determined by the fact that you are divine consciousness inside the body. But helping yourself, giving yourself lots of self-praise is something that's going to help you. If you are a perfectionist, let it go, okay? You are divinely perfect. You can make that an affirmation. You can make an affirmation, I am imperfectly perfect. Okay, you don't have to be a perfectionist in this world to know your worth. And if you are a perfectionist, think about when you're on your deathbed, are you going to look back and go, oh, okay, well, at least I always look nice, or at least my house was always spotless? No, you're going to look back and go, oh, well, that was a complete waste of time. I didn't enjoy myself because I was too busy being a perfectionist. So if you are a perfectionist, let it go. Anybody that is judging you by your appearance or judging you by how spotless your house is, it's just coming from their ego, okay? It's not coming from their divine self. So just let it go. It doesn't actually matter. You have nothing to prove. You can use your intention and choosing. So you can say, I intend to behave and act in a manner which proves my worthiness or which shows me how worthy I am. Or you can say, I choose to really know how worthy I am. Another thing that you can do is clear your heart center and your physical heart. Okay, if we're treated harshly by somebody, or especially when we're a child, we clog our heart center and our physical heart up with this stuck emotional energy of unworthiness, undeserving, depression, grief, etc. And when we have these stuck in our heart center and stuck in our physical heart, it means that we're not able to give and receive love very well, because we have built these walls around our heart. And it's really important, if we want to have a wonderful life, to be able to clear our heart center and clear our physical heart. I would concentrate on the front and the back, okay? Lots of times people just think about opening the front of their heart, but the back of your heart and your physical heart is your receiving side. So if we have been abused or treated harshly, we often put walls around the back of our heart and the back of our physical heart, because receiving is bad news and we're trying to protect ourselves. So make sure you also open the back of your physical heart and your heart center. And one way you can do that is just simply imagine stepping into a lift or whirlpool in your head and taking that lift or whirlpool down into your heart center. And then once you're in your heart center, you can just breathe in golden light of love and just imagine it becoming brighter and brighter. And then you can imagine doors opening in front of your chest, and you push that love out. Send that love out, and as it's going out, it's going to knock down some of those walls. Do the same with your physical heart, and then take your attention to the back of your heart space and push doors open at the back. And do the same with your physical heart. Go into your physical heart space and push the doors open at the back. Now, sometimes it can actually feel a little bit uncomfortable. It can actually be a bit painful. It's like having this stuck glue stuff, and you're actually physically forcing it apart with love. Using love is the best way, but it's just something that as you do it, keep repeating it over and over again, it's going to become easier as you do it, and it will become less painful in time. In actual fact, if it is painful, it just goes to show how much stuff you have blocked up your heart and heart space with. Another way is to really know your divinity. One way of knowing your divinity is by feeling yourself growing much larger and larger than your body. Then you can feel yourself as infinite. And then bring your awareness back down to your body and make sure you ground yourself after by sending roots down right down into the center of the ground. You can feel love outside of you, feel love from a tree, from an animal, from another person, and then feel that same love inside of you, just to know you're all oneness, and just to feel that you are divine consciousness of love. Okay, so what we're going to do now is called the Christ unwinding technique. And this is a technique I developed with Yeshua, Jesus, a few years ago. And this technique will help you to overwrite any limiting beliefs, and it will also help you to clear the stuck emotional energy from your body. Now, it doesn't matter what religion you are or whether you're an atheist. The Christ light is just source energy, so it helps everybody. So all you need to do is just shut your eyes and just say, I call upon the Christ light to help me. And then what you're going to do with your eyes shut, you're going to read some sentences. So you're going to imagine reading them as though they were on the inside of your forehead. Now, it doesn't matter about your spelling, it's your intention that counts. It actually works better if you can actually read your sentences rather than just imagine they're there. If you can't actually see them and you're having to imagine them, it's because your mind has deemed that it's unsafe for you to read them. So you can just simply say over and over again, it is safe for me to see my sentences, it is safe for me to see my sentences, and then after a while you will be able to see them. So just with your eyes shut, just imagine in lovely white letters, big sentences across the inside of your forehead. And the first one is, I am worthy of love and joy. And then underneath, your second sentence is, I am enough and divinely perfect, just as I am. And then you're going to see those sentences. They're going to go up into the air, and they're going to start to weave around and around your brain. So see them going up and down, left and right, backwards and forwards, I am worthy of love and joy. I am enough and divinely perfect just as I am. Seeing your sentence weaving around and around. And then you're going to see your sentences, they're going to start to spiral down your head. So just see your sentences spiraling down, round and round, down through your head. And the Christ light's actually going to be going with your sentences, cutting through that stuck emotional energy. So they're going to spiral down your head, down through your throat, and then down through the center of your chest. And as they're going down the center of your chest, just seeing if you can read them as they're going. I am worthy of love and joy. I am enough and divinely perfect just as I am. And seeing them going down through the center of your belly, reading your sentences. And then they're going to pass out from the gap in between your legs and go all the way right down to the ground. So they're going to see them spiraling in between your legs, reading them as they're going around. I am worthy of love and joy. I am enough and divinely perfect just as I am. Just seeing it spiral all the way down to the ground. And then you're just going to read your sentences again with your eyes shut. I am worthy of love and joy. I am enough and divinely perfect just as I am. And this time you're going to see your sentence, it's going to spiral up your left hand. So seeing your sentence spiral up your left hand, up your left arm, over your left elbow, up your upper arm, reading your sentences. I am worthy of love and joy. I am divinely perfect just as I am. And then when you've reached your left shoulder, you're going to spiral them across your right shoulder. Reading them as they're going across your upper back. I am worthy of love and joy. I am enough and divinely perfect just as I am. Then when they reach your right shoulder, you spiral them all the way back across to your left. And then spiral them down the left side of your chest. So nice and gently over your heart. Down the left side of your chest. Down the left side of your belly, reading your sentences. I am worthy of love and joy. I am enough and divinely perfect just as I am. So down the left side of your pelvis. Down your left thigh. Over your left knee. Down your left calf. I am worthy of love and joy. I am enough and divinely perfect just as I am. Now over your left foot. And you can see them going into the ground. And then we're just going to repeat this process with the right side. So with your eyes shut, reading your sentences. I am worthy of love and joy. I am enough and divinely perfect just as I am. And then seeing your sentences go out from your head and go up your right side. So see them spiraling up your right hand, up your right arm, over your right elbow, up your right upper arm. And when they reach your right shoulder, you're just going to spiral them across to the left shoulder, across the top of your back. I am worthy of love and joy. And then spiral them back across your right shoulder. I am enough and divinely perfect just as I am. See them spiraling down the right side of your chest. The right side of your belly. I am worthy of love and joy. I am enough and divinely perfect just as I am. See them going down the right side of your pelvis, down your right thigh, over your right knee, over your right calf. I am worthy of love and joy. I am enough and divinely perfect just as I am. And then seeing them going over your right foot. Then with your eyes shut, you're going to read your sentences again. I am worthy of love and joy. I am enough and divinely perfect just as I am. And this time you're going to see your sentences going outwards. And you just ask for your sentences to be sent across all time and space, all realities, all dimensions and all universes. And then lastly, we just finish off by seeing the sentences going across your chest in beautiful white and gold letters. I am worthy of love and joy. I am enough and divinely perfect just as I am. And then we just say thank you to the Christ light. And you can use that technique for anything. Just make sure you say sentences that are positive and in the present. So I am worthy rather than I am becoming worthy or I'm not unworthy. Any talk I've done on for most of the talks I've done on my Facebook page or on YouTube have the Christ unwinding technique at the end for something different. So feel free to look at those as well. So please know you are worthy. You're God in human form. You cannot be unworthy. Just clear your judgments and those conclusions you came to. Clear those limiting beliefs. Clear the stuck emotional energy and allow yourself to have the life that you deserve and that you are worthy of. Okay, much love and many blessings from my heart to yours.